Hey, everybody. Welcome to Halftime Live on Brews Sports. We welcome you to a Thursday edition of the program. It is a great day to be alive. It is a thirsty Thursday as the distinguished Tanner Berg cracks open a cold one next to me. Tanner, good Thursday to you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. A good Thursday to you, my friend.
Things don't surprise me anymore, Tanner, when I just see you not even on the set as we're beginning, basically. You're just over there just like, 1 second, Baxter,
Just hit live. Let's go live. I need to crack this open first.
You're like halfway down the hall. I'm like, Tanner, get over
coming.
here. We got to start.
That's the beautiful thing about the building we're in. There's breweries everywhere.
Which I think is really kind of cool, honestly.
It is.
We have a very distinct studio here at the
Unfortunately,
Attention Air Media Studios.
I haven't had a chance to try any of their beers, but
we need to. We need to have a
someday,
company outing,
yes.
a Brews Sports outing to go check it out, honestly.
I agree. How are you today? How was your show this morning?
Really well, actually.
You had a good guest on.
I had a
You had some
blast.
good
Yeah,
people
Bill
on.
Schmidt was on from 105.7 The Fan here in Milwaukee with Jamie and I this morning. We had a barrel of laughs. We talked about free agency, cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls?
All that good
came
stuff.
Up again. You guys have a lot of energy in the mornings. I don't know how you do it. I wake up right at the tail end, and I try and get on for like the last 15 minutes and like comment.
Well, what time do you go to bed, I guess? That's really where this conversation can start.
10 o'clock. Probably about the same time as you, right?
Yeah, I go to bed right around that 9:30, 10 o'clock range, honestly.
I could go to bed earlier. I could. But,
really?
You know, I
was in bed by about 9:30 last night. I felt very happy with myself. So
that's good.
I just was tired. I was like, I wanted to be in bed by 9, but Liz was still kind of awake. So I'm like, all right, I'll hang for a little bit longer. But then she was like, okay, now we can go to bed. I'm like, well, good, because I'm basically asleep. So we made it work, though. We had a good time. We've got a good show for you today as we continue to roll along with the program. We're going to be joined by Dom Garrett in the second segment to help us decipher the chaos of NFL free agency.
Oh, it is chaos.
It's good chaos, though,
It is.
I
There's
think.
a lot of crazy
I'm excited
stuff
about
going
it. I know that the listeners as a whole, there's been news breaking and popping all
Left
over the
and
place,
right.
honestly.
It's a big day.
It is. I'm excited. We will try to do our best to stay up to date as things break, of course, but we will also give you our takes about deals that have already taken place as well, too.
Of course.
We are just
It's our job.
excited to be here. Reminder, of
That's
course,
why you watch.
comment, share, of course. Share this video with your friends as you're taking in the excitement that is halftime. Go to brewsportsnet.com as well too to share past episodes of halftime,
Share
the Morning
away.
Brew, anything
Why
we do.
not?
It's the best place to learn about us as hosts and get to know the network.
That's the beautiful thing about what we're doing is we allow the viewer while we're live, and the more people that we have come in to talk, the more we can allow this train to derail. So
you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
We do get derailed from time to time, but so it's Thirsty Thursday.
It is.
It's Thirsty Thursday.
Cheers.
So I will start by cheersing you, my friend, as always.
Of course. What do you got rolling today in that big glass of yours?
Oh man, that's good. It's I've had a streak of Wisconsin beers lately, but this is from Titletown Brewing. I'm assuming that's up in Green Bay.
Yes, sir.
It's a Johnny Blood Red, Irish-style red ale.
Johnny Blood
and
Red.
Apparently it is a silver medalist Irish-style red ale 2015 from the Great American Beer Festival. That's
wow.
It's a nice award for a Green Bay brewery.
Well
it's
done.
Good. It's good. I like it.
Well, good. Well, what are we hitting today here, Tanner?
Well, it's Thirsty Thursday. There's a couple things going on right now that
You're right.
I'm just salivating over. So, can we talk about that for a second?
Of course. Salivate. Do whatever
First
you
of
gotta
all, there's a debate out there, and I think we need to settle it. Arian Foster.
The chicken came before the egg.
The chicken came before the egg.
Yes.
Arian Foster says he believes he can take on a wolf.
That he can take on a wolf?
1 versus 1.
Like Balto
in a
the
fight.
Wolf? Or like a wolf?
Like, this isn't Conor McGregor saying, yeah, I can fight a wolf. This is Arian Foster like, yeah, I can beat a wolf. So, I don't know how to take that. I mean, even if I was a trained martial artist, like I don't think I could look a wolf straight in the eye and say, yeah, I'm going to be able to take you down.
Well, I mean, look at Arian Foster. I mean,
there he is.
Decently well built.
He's a big
good-looking,
dude.
Good-looking guy. He works out.
Unfortunately, he couldn't stay healthy enough to help me win a championship for fantasy, but he's a good dude.
Foster.
And but there's something about a wolf, and they're just vicious and bloodthirsty. And look at that right there.
That's terrifying.
Do you think a man of Arian Foster's stature can take on a bloodthirsty beast of the wilderness?
I don't think so. I would like to debate no. What I Would I pay to see something like this?
Absolutely.
No.
You wouldn't?
Hell no.
I want to see Arian Foster back it up. You challenge a wolf. You take that challenge.
Well,
I
of course, but I don't think that is a safe thing to do, personally.
There is somebody out there that believes Arian Foster could take on the wolf.
Who thinks that?
And it's not the wolf.
With the wolf, yeah. Has the wolf been reached for a comment yet?
No, I tried. He denied comment.
Well, we have the technology. We could patch the wolf in live from the wilderness.
So, Wolf,
like,
if you're watching,
Mr. Wolf. Now, are these like wolves, like Twilight wolves, or is this like a regular wolf?
I imagine
he's
Jacob? Not just like taking on just like like a wolf pup. He's talking about the blood. Like he says he could take on a wolf, not a pack of wolves, just a wolf.
Well, when he says take on, I don't know. We're saying like to the death.
I
feel like we need to get a little bit of clarity here. I feel like of what take on a wolf means. It's not a 10-round
match. Someone's going to die. It's either the wolf or Arian Foster.
That's sad. That's sad.
Aaron Rodgers, though, says that he thinks Arian Foster could take on the wolf.
Well, Aaron Rodgers likes to egg on people, honestly, as well, too. So he's known for doing things like that.
I don't see Aaron Rodgers coming out saying he can take on
I was going to say, how come people aren't calling
Aaron
Rodgers out being like, yo, A-Rod, you won't.
Oh, man, that's great. That's great.
Would you fight a wolf?
Me? No, absolutely not.
So why do you care about...
I come on a sports show once a day to drink a beer and talk about the sports world. Am I about to go fight a wolf? Absolutely not, Baxter.
You're probably more...
Give me 90 days. I'll get on P90X and I'll be ready to fight a wolf.
You think you could do that if you trained hard for 90 days?
We should start a poll. If Tanner has 90 days to prepare for a wolf fight,
would he win?
And
that's a good question. Comment below.
I just need to prepare for it.
You think that's all it is? You think that physically it's all you need to do is just prepare for it and be like, you know what, I got this.
Yes, that is absolutely true. So
I don't know if I believe you.
There's other things going on.
What's that?
Should we move into that? Let's see. What do we even have planned for today? We have a lot of good stuff to talk about.
That's the thing. Like today's show is, I feel like a little all over the place, just because there literally is so many different things to talk about. So it's like it's hard to stay focused on one specific thing.
It's true. We will have Dom Garrett, one of our NFL correspondents, on momentarily.
Yeah. We can bring him on whenever you want.
I mean, there's other things that I want to talk about, but we should just move straight into free agency, just because there is so much going on, especially today. So, if we want to. I think he's on, right?
He is? Yeah. Dom, how are we doing today, sir?
Doing absolutely fantastic. And for the record, it's all about the thumbs. Once you have the opposable thumbs, you could totally be able to beat the wolf, right? Like,
I didn't think about
that.
Dom,
you don't have thumbs.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't, but they...
That's a game. Do thumbs matter when your teeth are the size of, your face, basically?
Their entire lives...
That's what worries me a little bit about that.
Their entire lives, they've been, their instinct is to fight. Arian Foster's instinct has been to not get injured and score touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, of all professional athletes, like, Arian Foster has no legs to stand on, probably because they're injured.
No,
doesn't have any legs to stand on here to talk about this. So
if we're talking,
I don't know about your physical prowess, but 90 days to train to fight a wolf.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think I can do it.
You might be able to get it.
I don't know if I would take Tanner or the field on that one.
With the field,
I'm 100%. I'm a gambling man. I'm taking the field, but Tanner, good luck.
I love you, bro. Give it your best. I'm sure you'll do great.
Give me 90 days. If I don't make it back, hopefully your infant son is ready to come on and fill in for me.
Yeah, exactly. My son Beckham is our fill-in host for any time Tanner is not able to make it, of course.
True.
So, all right, well, we should probably talk about NFL free agency, because that's the whole reason we brought Dom on the program today.
Not just to talk about wolves.
Where do you want to go first? I want to get your thoughts about somebody that's not even a free agent right now, Dom. Kirk Cousins being denied a trade, basically. He went to the GM and said, "Yo, I want out," and they were like, "Just kidding. We're not going to do that."
What a I want to be nice here, but man, that organization is just a mess. From
Truly.
Their GM just straight up not showing up, saying he was preparing his grandma's funeral, but she died a month before the combine. And Dan Snyder, nobody really likes Dan Snyder. I am friends with plenty of Redskins fans that are not big fans. I mean, I was talking about this on my podcast. I do think that Kirk Cousins, with you look at the landscape of the NFL right now. He is 100% a top 15 quarterback. He's probably a top 10 quarterback, which means that there's like 20. I think there's 20 teams in the league that would want to have Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. He's not going to be able to do it by himself, but the fact that they're just straight up not – it reminds me of when the stock market crashes and then they freeze the stocks and they're like, we're not doing anything. Nobody can pull their money out. That's exactly what the Redskins are doing. They're like, we have you. We're not going to let you go. We're not going to really let anybody else go. Help. And this, which, I mean, transfer, like somebody gets denied a transfer from one Starbucks to another, they get kind of pissed off. Like,
hey, when my barista is gone,
he still gets like
$20
some odd million in guaranteed money. He's going to be doing okay. So.
Yes, I would agree.
He's going to be.
Those baristas are a hot commodity. No pun intended. Obviously.
Exactly. My girl Stacy down the street. I mean, she's a top 10 barista.
Exactly. If we had to power rank baristas in the state of Washington, Stacy is a mid to late first round draft pick every single time.
This is true. This is true. I have a question. You said you think Kirk Cousins could potentially be in the top 10 in the league. That's a big statement to make, and I'm a Bills fan, and I have to bring it up. But so the Bills restructured Tyrod Taylor's contract, and keeping him was probably their best option. Would you put Kirk Cousins above Tyrod Taylor? Would you think?
100%.
I would. Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
All right.
I mean, just look at his
Slow down,
at his numbers.
guys.
I mean,
We're all like, yes, do it. You're like, okay,
yeah.
Gosh.
No, I think that Kirk has the ability now. I'm a Michigan State guy. I write for the Only Colors. So I've watched him for a very long time. I think that he has that leadership ability that people still look to him in those spots. He is like the prototypical type of a quarterback, right? So he's going to sit back. He might not have like a booming arm. He's not going to be able to throw it.
More of a pocket passer, really. Yeah, when you break Kirk Cousins
Nothing
down.
too flashy, but straightforward and consistent.
Yes,
at least.
That is something that you need, right? So like everybody tries to fit, and I think Tyrod fits within that. Like we're going to be kind of mobile. We're going to move around. Now that doesn't always lead itself to be an accurate passer. And you look like if you were to put Sammy Watkins and line him up for a year and Tyrod Taylor for a year, guarantee you he catches at least 15 to 20 more balls with Kirk Cousins because he's going to get those looks.
Absolutely.
He's going to get those looks that are better. I think that when it comes to an overall like team building, I'm building around Kirk before I'm building around Tyrod.
Well, what do you think now that Kirk doesn't have Pierre Garçon to throw the ball to now? Washington is basically just kind of saying, well, good luck, Kirk. Throw the ball to Vernon Davis. That's it, really. I mean, who else? Washington doesn't really have a lot of other options, to my knowledge.
No. And I mean, your quarterback is only as I don't want to say only as good as the weapons, because you could see like what Tom Brady's been able to do with just like some ragtag group of guys over the course of his career at points. I don't think that Kirk is going to be able to put up the numbers that he did, say, this last year. He's a good passer. He's an accurate passer. So are the Redskins going to be in the hunt like they were this year, like they were last year? Probably not.
Yeah,
I don't think that team is going to make the playoffs. Like they're a 7-9 team, without Pierre Garçon and not really making any moves and not having a manager that's sort of MIA. Like I don't think that they're going to make any noise, but I still think that he's going to perform well. He's not going to. Every year he's in the league, he's getting better, which is he's making that gamble on himself, and it's paying off every single year with this guaranteed money franchise tag he keeps getting. So I think that after this year, he's going to get let go by the Redskins. He's going to end up in a place like a San Francisco. He's going to end up in a place where he's going to have a system built around him that's really going to allow him to flourish. But this year, I think he's just going to be Captain Kirk. He's going to be super consistent and nothing too flashy. Full of 6-second clips online of him yelling, "You like that?" or "Ooh wee."
Yes, yeah, I do. I mean, I love when players can be energetic and enthusiastic like that. There's a couple other big names floating around out there for free agency. Obviously, we're right at the midway point of the day here. That's kind of what our show is all about. So we're in the middle of teams making big moves. We've heard a couple things in the last couple days about projected signings, but of course today, at the end of the day, they will be official. The Patriots are getting Stephon Gilmore for a ton of money, Robert Woods and a couple other players going to, I believe, the Rams, right? Am I wrong about that?
I do believe you're correct
yes,
about
I am
that,
correct.
yep.
And Torrey Smith going to the Eagles. So people moving all over the place, and some big names out there too.
And the biggest names I'd like to argue haven't even moved yet. I mean, we're talking about Adrian Peterson, Alshon Jeffrey. I'm really curious.
Haven't heard a peep. Really,
Donta Hightower.
Yeah.
Those are the guys I care more about personally. I mean, people might yell at me for this, honestly, but I think it's a good thing that Cleveland is actually trying to spend their $102 million that they have worth of cap space to shore up their line. I mean, they just signed J.C. Treader as well, too. Packers, former Packers center. They're working on a couple other offensive linemen. They're trying to basically shore up the fact that if they end up probably drafting a rookie quarterback, which I'm sure they probably will have to, and either going with him or, one of the many lucky gentlemen that still happens to wear a Browns uniform, they might actually be semi-decent, which is a weird thing to say, but a kind of a possibility. How do you feel about that, Dom?
I mean, I have a very hard time. I'm sorry. I feel like Adam Schefter checking to make sure, see what's going on right now.
Get off your phone. No, I'm just kidding.
I do feel like there is it's hard for me to put any sort of faith in the Cleveland Browns. They gave Jamie Collins that contract, and I think that he's a good defensive player. I think he's going to do some stuff for him. I think that they should 100% spend their draft pick on Myles Garrett.
Okay.
If you're going to go _1 overall, I think you should do that. You should build around there. I don't think that they should go with Mitchell Trubisky.
Mitchell,
the offensive line.
You and Mitchell, you guys are on a first name basis there.
I hate that he's like, call me Mitchell. It's like,
jeez.
No, I'm not going to do that.
It's funny. There's a player on the Buffalo Sabres his name is Samson Reinhart, and when he got drafted, he wanted to be called Samson Reinhart. Obviously, it's a lot easier for play-by-players to call him Sam. So
Sam Reinhart.
Samson
Reinhart
did not last, but so Mitchell. I don't know if Mitchell Trubisky is gonna.
Anybody that I've ever met that goes by anybody that I ever know that goes by Mitchell is just a weird person.
His name's hard enough to say as it is. The first time we mentioned him last week, the first time we brought him up, we couldn't even say that guy with the funny name from UNC.
Yeah, UNC played a year. He's all right.
Mitchell.
He's all right. We'll see what happens.
There's still a lot of open.
That being said, oh no, you're fine. That being said, I think that I think the Browns are going to end up trying to make a move for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Ooh. I think the Browns have 2 first-round picks, don't they? I think I could be totally.
Do they have 2 first?
They do. I don't remember who they got it from, but they do.
They have the first overall pick, and I think they've got the 12th pick as well too. So I mean, if you're Cleveland, you could go and get Myles Garrett number 1, and then one of those quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson, Mitchell, those guys are all going to be potentially bumming around still at that point. You could maybe have your cake and eat it too, if I'm correct on my previous knowledge.
Yeah, but I mean that's backfired. That's backfired for Cleveland so many times.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to think that they learn. Not try to take a first-round quarterback and make him our guy.
Hey, Johnny Manziel was a great player.
If you were to take you take any of the first-round guys that went this year, right? Any of the first-round quarterbacks, any of the quarterbacks, period, that went in this draft this year, if you were to plug them in, the Browns failed. Dak Prescott would not have been Dak Prescott if it wasn't for that offensive line in Dallas, if it wasn't for being able to take the pressure off with having Ezekiel Elliott next to him.
Very true.
The Browns need to work on a lot of things before they go, we need a quarterback. There are other teams that need a quarterback, but I think those ones that are going to be a good option for them.
And I agree with you on that one too. You mean obviously there's still a lot of uncertainty, of course, of what's going on. I do forget the fact that Josh McCown is still on this roster. He's technically their projected starting one. Cody Kessler is their other quarterback as well too that the Browns have. So they probably will draft somebody or try to sign somebody at some point, of course. But
of course.
I don't, like you said, I don't know if you spend that high first round draft pick.
Trevor on Facebook here says the Pats will not trade their Brady insurance. Belichick is getting greedy for that 6th ring.
Nope. So. Okay. All right. So I have something to say about that.
Here we go. Now you set him up.
All
right. So I am. I will admit this right now, and people will probably hate me. I am a Patriots fan.
I can never have you on again.
Shut him down. Boo. Shut him down. You can't look at him anymore. No,
this was fun. See you later.
We're losing you.
Yeah, no. You're breaking up, Tom.
No. Bill Belichick Bill Belichick is playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers when it comes to these moves. Every single time. You can look at the fact that there was like 10 players on the roster for the Super Bowl that somehow came from the Cleveland Browns, including Bill Belichick himself.
Yeah, true. Didn't they fire him? They fired him. He got fired from the Browns.
He knows exactly what he knows exactly what he needs to do in these different spots. Tom Brady, I believe, has 2 to 4 years left that he will still be playing in New England.
You make me want to throw up as a Bills fan.
Yeah, Bills fans are
4
like,
years.
Stop talking. 4 years left. Stop talking. We don't want him.
Jacoby Brissett has showed himself as a quarterback that can make throws, that can work himself into a system. I think that Bill realizes that he has this amount of time left with Tom, and that this is a league right now that will overspend for a quarterback. So when Jimmy Garoppolo comes in,
Mike Glennon's is a prime example of that.
Exactly. So he comes in and he showed that he can win a game. He's a big, tall guy. He sort of looks like Tom Brady. He moves like Tom a little bit, except for his arm strength is a lot better than Tom Brady's ever was. Bill knows that he could be able to get those other pieces that actually win you the title.
Okay.
He's not going to have to throw for 44 touchdowns if you are able to pull in these other pieces and keep this carousel of guys that are looking for a ring keep coming in that you're going to get for cheaper. You had Chris Long, you had Martellus Bennett. Well, let's get rid of both of them because once Dwayne Allen comes in, Martellus Bennett's gone. So now you get Martellus Bennett essentially 3 years younger for half the price. Let's go ahead and plug and play there. You can go ahead and the Patriots can draft somebody in the 3rd or 4th round that they could then in the next 4 years turn into the next. Let's not forget, everybody thought Matt Castle was going to be the Tom Brady insurance.
Oh, yeah. My God, you're right.
So there's so many different times, and Bill knows that this isn't the last cycle. There's one other cycle that he's got. He's got this window that's, less than 5 years. So let's go ahead and give away some of these things because right now the market's going to overpay for a quarterback because, again, if Kirk Cousins is sniffing into that top 10 conversation, then 100% Jimmy Garoppolo is better than at least the quarterback that at least 10 teams have.
Ooh.
And there's teams that straight up don't know who's going to play.
That's very bold.
I know that I'm coming out here just like with these scorched earth free agent
hot takes.
But,
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. And Mike Glennon's about to get paid. That's what's happening. Which, by the way, I don't hate that move.
Okay,
because if you look at Mike Glennon throughout his career so far, everybody's like, well, he wasn't good enough for Tampa Bay to have to go and draft somebody. It's like, of course Tampa Bay is going to draft a franchise quarterback in Jameis Winston.
Every time.
People forget Mike Glennon was the one that ran off Russell Wilson at NC State.
Wow.
So Russell Wilson was there, couldn't actually get his job there, didn't get the starting job. Then he transferred to Wisconsin for his last year. Mike Glennon was the quarterback that NC State was like, we're going to go with this guy. Had decent numbers. Like, if you actually look at Mike Glennon's stats, his rookie year in Tampa Bay, not bad. And anybody is better than Jay Cutler in Chicago.
This is true.
So,
well, that's common knowledge, I feel like. But yes, you're 100% right about that.
I don't think that Mike Glennon is going to do horrible. He's still going to be probably the 4th best quarterback in that division. It's obviously goes Rodgers, Stafford, Bradford, and then whoever the Bears get. But I do think that he's probably Yeah, he's probably going to be sniffing into number 3 there. But, these teams just need to find a quarterback to be able to, sort of keep them going for like 2 years while they try to build up and put together other pieces there. And, it's Bill Belichick's going to take advantage. Going back to the original point, Bill Belichick, I think, is going to take advantage of that.
There we go. Brought it back.
Tom, I have one quick question. The fullback position is an interesting position in the NFL, and it's definitely a dying breed. The Bills picked up, since you're talking so much about the Patriots, that I guess that gives me a reason to bring up my Bills, right? So the Bills picked up.
If the Packers were doing something, I'd be like, "Hey guys, the Packers," and be like, "Just kidding. We don't do anything on this day of the year."
The Bills made a bunch of moves today. They're signing Stephen Hauschka. They signed Patrick DeMarco and Michael Tolbert. So, what is the fullback position in the NFL? I know DeMarco is one of the best in the league at the fullback position, but what does that even mean from a free agent signing standpoint? You can only look too much into that, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you have a really good fullback, and I mean, like, just go ahead and look at Green Bay, what they've been able to do with the fullback. If you know how to use a fullback well, I think that's something that it can be a commodity. Is it one of those things that like you're like super splashy? Like you just mentioned a fullback and a kicker. Like it's not like the Bills are trying to
kickers are people too, Dom.
Or kickers are people too.
Look at me, Dom.
Kickers are people too.
As a former kicker, I take offense to said allegations or allocations or whatever the word is.
Remember, the Patriots lost those 2 Super Bowls against the Giants by just a couple kicks. So.
Well, yes, they lost because they had divine intervention by Eli Manning. That's the only reason why. That's the real reason they lost. How many Super Bowls did the Patriots win because of Vinatieri?
I mean, 1?
2,
at least. 2, yeah.
I mean, if you want to count the Super Bowls they won because they got there because of Vinatieri's leg, then yeah, let's go ahead and say it's probably even more than 2.
There you go.
But when it comes to the fullback, I think that it's a good thing. The Bills, in my personal opinion, need to really get back to the basics. Much just up and down when it comes to coaches, when it comes to players, when it comes to what are we doing here or there. I think a fullback is
they're always
probably
asking,
the
what
most,
are we doing?
It's the most centering position that you could be like, we're getting a fullback. It's not sexy. We're gonna shore up our offensive line. Is not sexy.
No.
But what is sexy is the fact that Tyrod Taylor is going to have time in the backfield because he's going to have a weapon that's there and that's going to be able to block in pass protection, but then also be able to slip out there. And when you're a defense and you're planning for a quarterback that has the mobility that Tyrod Taylor does and who has the ability to make those throws, you're not thinking about a fullback that's going to slip out. But there's plenty of times that you're going to be able to pick up those 15, 20-yard chunk plays. They're going to make the difference in a drive. That are going to make the difference in a game. So is a franchise swinging type of a acquisition? No. But is it those ones that, let's go back to Pacino in Longest Yard. Your football's a game of inches, right?
So, absolutely.
That's right.
All right, Dom. Well, always a pleasure, sir. We appreciate the insight, as you always do so wonderfully on the Brew Sports Network. Where can people find your work and follow you on social media as well?
Yeah, definitely. So you can follow me at Dom Garrett on Twitter. Also at Riding the Pine. So it's at Riding the Pine _. Speaking of NFL, we actually had a piece go out today about why the NFL should replace the combine with Nickelodeon guts. So feel free to check out that one. It's going to be even more entertaining and probably give us just as much information. So.
Well, perfect, Dom. We appreciate it, sir. We'll talk to you again soon, all right?
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you.
All right. There goes Dom Garrett, one of the NFL and just multi-sport insiders here on the Brew Sports Network. Some really good stuff there from Dom, of course.
Did you watch 90s Nickelodeon when you were a kid?
I don't know what damn thing you're talking about.
So Nickelodeon Guts was essentially just a bunch of teenagers and old parents just going out and doing the most ridiculous stunts to try and win a Razor scooter or a pair of Reebok or Skechers or something.
Hey man, Skechers are the
or an N64. But the combine itself, he makes a good point. I thought that was so funny. The combine itself, not a very exciting thing, but it's all about who runs the fastest this or who jumps the highest that, and it really has almost nothing to do with their football talent. So yeah, let's replace the combine with Legends of the Hidden Temple or
I remember
Guts
that
2000
one.
or
That
Double
was a
Dare.
classic one.
Yeah.
A couple of comments on Facebook. Trevor says the Bills are interested in another tight end. They are linked to Bennett and Jared Cook.
Yes, very true.
That would be a fun little thing to see.
Trevor also brings up a good point, saying, fun fact about kickers. Trevor and myself, we went to high school with Packers punter Jacob Shum.
Hey, there's a deal. David also says kickers are great in the combine doing the 40, or at least so he's been told. #last night. Hey, man.
Yes.
Kickers are some great people.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I mean, you got to let me know ahead of time if we're going to have Dom on again, because I might just need to take like a 15-minute hiatus, because I can only hear so much Patriots talk before I want to vomit in my mouth.
You're like,
4 more years
stop.
of Brady. It's like, God, he got reelected as greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Anyways.
So free agent news here.
Yes.
That also has been swirling and whirling here. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is. So some of the latest things, as we mentioned, Kirk Cousins being blocked for a potential trade away from the Redskins. Ted Ginn Jr. is expected to sign with the Saints. The Bears are expected to sign Mike Glennon on a 3-year deal.
So are they going from a Cutler to a Cutler? Essentially, I know people are talking about Mike Glennon, but the Bears. You said the Bears are expected to sign Mike Glennon. I don't think Mike Glennon's.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, he's not an exciting.
Jay Cutler's not a bad quarterback.
No,
despite multiple
just disappointing
thoughts and feelings over it.
So Dom just went on. Oh, thank God! Dom went on and posted the article replacing the NFL Combine with Nickelodeon Guts. So be sure to check that out. Thanks, Dom, for going on and posting that in our comments section.
Appreciate that.
We'll have to go back and share that on our page later. But I will definitely check that out.
Looking forward to that one.
Yes.
All right, so you were trying to bring up the whole fullback thing before as well, too.
Yeah,
Did you want to try to hash that a little bit more?
Yeah,
talk to me more about the fullback thing.
The fullback position's interesting because there's not a lot of them left. People often say it's a dying breed, much like the goon or the bruiser in hockey, which is a whole other debate of itself. But the fullback position is interesting because, much like the tight end, it needs to find a way to evolve. So when you get guys who are in the backfield like that, they almost have to be versatile as a pass catcher, running back on short yardage downs, or even just a full-on just blocking back, which I think is what DeMarco is for the Bills. He's a big, he's one of the best run blocking fullbacks in the league. So, and obviously the Bills are not a pass-heavy team. So,
true.
How do you win in the league when you don't have a franchise quarterback or an elite quarterback? You need to build around your best players, which in this case is LaShawn McCoy. So when you take the league's best rushing attack and then you add a guy like Patrick DeMarco who can get you the 1 yard, or who can open up a gap or a hole for LaShawn McCoy, and then putting the big guy Michael Tolbert in there, who's signed on as the Bills as another running back for the Bills. So
I want to get your thoughts about some of these things here. The Jets, Bears, Niners, and Ravens have all reached out to quarterback Ryan Mallett. No decision has been made yet officially. Now they're saying that Ryan Mallett has agreed to sign with the Ravens, apparently per source.
Why?
Decent backup, I guess. Joe Flacco.
I guess, yeah.
When you have such an elite quarterback like Joe Flacco, you want to make sure that you've got a good.
Is Joe Flacco an elite quarterback?
I was like,
are you serious?
I mean, that's the running joke.
He's a top 15, and sometimes he's a top 10, but he's not an elite quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback. Get me wrong, but he's in kind of that second tier.
You're right.
Below like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and then like in the second tier, you got guys like. I'd put like Russell Wilson in there, Matt Ryan for his inconsistencies. I mean, he's not Tom Brady.
This also being reported by Chris Mortensen and Diana Rossini of ESPN, saying that Calais Campbell could take less money, $13 million a year, to go home to Denver instead of taking the Jaguars offer, which would give him more than $14 million.
Well then.
What do you feel about that? Calais Campbell. I mean, we already know that.
It's a fun name and a lot of money.
Yeah,
Calais
Campbell. I don't know, honestly, how I feel about that one. I feel like you need to be careful, obviously, with when it comes to dealings with the money and the situations like that. So just I think Jacksonville, should make a harder push for him. I think either team is going to be a better team if you get a guy like Calais Campbell on your team, no matter who you are.
This is true.
So if you're Denver, you want to get that little more of a dominant pass rush going to help complement Von Miller. And I've heard rumors that DeMarcus Mayer wants to go back to the Cowboys at some point to retire as a Cowboy, because that's where he started his career. So if you think DeMarcus Ware is walking out the door here soon, you might want to get in that Calais Campbell sort of guy too. And especially when Calais himself is saying, look, I will take a smaller salary to go play for the team that I actually want to play for. Not that I don't want to play for Jacksonville, but if I can go home, I'll take a pay cut if that's what it takes.
It definitely depends on how big of a pay cut that is, because I'm not just going to give up $5-6 million to go play, in Buffalo when somebody in Tampa's, offering me more. I mean, that's money for his family, for his kids, and his future. I mean, these contracts don't last forever, so that's why you don't get a lot of those players that take pay cuts. They always talk about it. They say, "Oh, I'd love to stay here. I'd love to play here. I was born and raised here." But that doesn't mean I'm going to just give up $5 million.
Right.
I wouldn't do it.
You would. What about for something simple as that, though, where you're only giving up like a million or two to make a difference to play?
I would be okay
in a
with
home
that.
city,
Okay
as opposed to a team that which is like, we'll just pay you more money.
In that scenario, yes. If it was just like a million or two per year, I could probably do that for a couple of years. I think you grew up, especially if you grew up watching the team. Obviously, you want to play for that team.
True.
And, even if you've played there for your entire career, and I always go back to a guy like Kyle Williams for the Bills. I mean, he is just a presence. He's a presence in the locker room. He's always been a presence on the field. He's a multi-pro Pro Bowler, and he loves playing in Buffalo. And he does. He pretty much epitomizes the fans of Buffalo. But players like that, where you just want to play for a certain team, I can see them taking a pay cut, but it doesn't mean that they're always necessarily going to do that.
Yeah, Adam is saying, too, that the Bills have literally picked up 20 fullbacks.
Yeah, there's...
Then got rid of Woods, Goodwin, and Williams. He also says, fun fact, Mallett does not like to show up early to practice. Well, if you're the backup quarterback, who really cares, honestly?
This is true. Yeah, I mean, it is funny. There's a sports radio station in Buffalo I was listening to this morning, and they had somebody called in.
You would.
And did a 1.5-minute long take on, it was basically a joke. Obviously, Buffalo Sports Radio.
Of course.
There's always some jokes.
You got to joke about something because nobody has anything successful to talk about.
But somebody made almost like a play-by-play of the Bills. They have the all-star, like their entire roster is just made out of fullbacks. So it's like a 1.5 minutes of them saying, doing the play-by-play, and Michael Tolbert gets the ball, and it's an exciting 1 yard, and it's 2nd and 9. It's like, oh my God. I was listening to it on my way over here today. It was so funny. It was so funny.
You're not wrong.
Simon says, yeah, but no one grew up watching the Bills Banner Turk. Oh, man, people know.
Is that Simon Mitchell that's heckling you?
No, it's another Simon.
Oh, Simon. Yes. It's true, Bannerberg.
Bannerberg. Shots fired from backstage. This is true. Anyways, the fullback position we talked about a little bit.
I find this interesting too. Adam Scheffner just reporting as well. Cowboys guard Ron Leary plans to sign with the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
I don't know much about the Dallas offensive line, but except that it's always really good. I don't know if Ron is a consistent starter. I believe he would be. Otherwise, I don't know how much we would care about reporting something like this. So you take away a potential key cog in your offensive line, then that starts raising questions about how good Dallas might be next year, honestly.
There is another guy out there in the field. Actually, he just got taken off the market. I think.
Who's that?
Funny story.
I like funny
He's
stories.
A former Bill, but let me just say this really quick. Okay, so he was a former Bill, Eagle, Packer, and Brown. He hasn't played in the league since 2011.
Okay.
And he didn't play a single down while on the Eagles, the Bills, the Packers, or the Browns. Vince Young.
Oh, Vincent
is signing with the Saskatchewan Roughriders to attempt a comeback with the CFL. Canadian football, baby.
Well, what's that? How is there a problem with that?
There's nothing.
Go Big V.
He's off the table.
Yeah.
You got to go get a guy like Mike Glennon now.
He looks big, like not in a good way.
Vinny does?
Yeah, like I'm looking at a picture of him right now. Like boy. He's gotten big in a bad way.
Oh my God.
He looks
holy cow.
He looks thick and not in like an attractive thick sort of way.
That's him?
That's not. It can't be.
It can't be.
They can't be Mad 08 cover athlete Vince Young out of the University of Texas.
Wow.
Hook 'em horns. Wow.
That's got to be him. That is absolutely.
Are you looking at the same
incredible.
picture I am of him in his jersey?
Yeah.
Big.
He's been hanging out with Eddie Lacy.
Yeah. Well, he was a former Packer, so I'm sure those guys
true.
like to get together.
Oh my gosh.
Chill.
Anyway, so the CFL is cool. It's a different league. Obviously, it's not. I don't think it's as good as the NFL. Otherwise, we'd be talking about the CFL every day and not the NFL.
The what?
The Canadian Football League. Canadian Football League.
Oh.
Yes, it's
Canadian
in
Football
Canada.
League.
It's in Canada. So,
Canada
but there's
plays
some
football?
notable people that have come out of the
Like
CFL.
who? It's Canadian football. What could possibly have come good out of Canada?
Have you heard of a little guy named Warren Moon? Perhaps.
Well, he is pretty little.
He was little. I got a littler guy for you.
Oh.
A littler guy. And if anybody out there that's watching that is a former... Actually, I hope Dom's still watching because this guy played for the Patriots as well.
Hey.
But he had a better career with the Buffalo Bills. Doug Flutie, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Flutie is a former CFL player. He's currently ranked online as the number one player to come out of the CFL or to play for the CFL is Doug Flutie. For BC, Calgary, and Toronto.
Simon's
from 90 through
reminding me
97,
of Cameron Wake
Cameron Wake, yes.
playing in the CFL. He was a
There's a couple other guys up there too.
Vinny
But
Testaverde, apparently.
I mean, when you gain weight like Vince Young, apparently, and I hope Vince isn't watching. I hope he is, because gosh darn it,
Come on
find
the show,
yourself a
Vince.
treadmill, man. Like, what are you doing?
Gosh, you need help there.
My gosh,
Vincent.
my gosh, yeah.
Joe Horn, Jeff Garcia, David says here on Facebook.
Yep. Oh, a little guy named Cookie Gilchrist. I don't know who that is.
Oh, Cookie.
I like that name though, Cookie Gilchrist. He's
Greg
the kind
makes
of guy
a
I want to hang out with.
good throws a good question out there. He said, "Could we be able to watch retired NFL games? Like, in other words, just like a fall league of retired players, like where they just get together and play flag football of all just retired former NFL players."
Isn't that kind of like the senior? What do they call it in golf? There's
The senior tour?
The senior tour.
I think something like that.
It's like the champions or something like that, where it's basically just all the retired guys who are just like, I still want to play golf. And some people go out there like, oh my gosh,
You're still decent.
look at that.
What do you think?
Big
about
old
yeah.
the golden bear.
I don't mind it. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think
gonna-
I got to see the Brett Favre charity flag football game a couple years ago at Camp Randall Stadium, and that was pretty darn cool.
You're gonna get a guy out there though, like breaking a hip or something.
Yeah, those guys were pretty sore afterwards. I mean, Donovan McNabb was there, Brett,
Especially
of
in
course, was
football.
there, Antonio Freeman, Javon Walker.
Like
I mean,
it'd be fun to watch Michael Jordan go play basketball against Larry
some pickup.
Bird, but
Ray Allen can still ball out.
But I don't know if I need to see some of these guys suit up and get on the football field.
I don't like
again.
I'm saying. I think if it's like a flag football league,
Flag football.
yeah, flag. You're not hitting contact. Guys are going to be
my
breaking bones left
gosh.
and right.
So you got Doug Flutie out there playing flag football.
Yeah, you
Is
got
that-
Flutie whipping the ball.
We might as well just watch Double Dare, or any other '90s Nickelodeon
I would watch
TV
that
show.
over 90s Nickelodeon.
Oh my gosh!
Personally.
Unbelievable. What else is going on in the world today?
Barcelona, shocking
yes.
the soccer world.
Yes,
I
do
know
wanna talk about
soccer,
that.
crazy
I do wanna
soccer.
talk about that.
Barcelona, if you hadn't heard, they were down in the Champions League in the round of 16. They were fighting for relevance, basically, because they were down 4-0 on goal aggregate, the way Champions League works,
Yes.
at least in the second.
Yes.
You play 2 legs. Total goals is how you get through to the second round. So Barcelona down 4-0 going in against Paris Saint-Germain. Didn't look good for Banner Turk going into this game. Until the game started.
I've slowly liked watching soccer more and more over the last
Good, you
couple
should.
years, ever since high school. But
Because one of your good
the,
friends likes
one
soccer.
of the biggest problems, yes, that's true. One of the biggest problems with soccer, though, I wouldn't necessarily call it a problem, but one of the biggest problems that the United States has with soccer is the fact that the games are 1-0, 0-0, and there's little to none scoring, no scoring. So, but a game
Sounds like baseball.
Yeah, it does. It does. Slow.
But at
Very
least we
slow.
know when the soccer game's going to
Yes,
be done.
I'm not trying to fight you, Baxter. But
I'm just saying
but
as a
yeah.
whole. I'm making the argument for people to
Well-
also ponder at home.
But something like this, where you got a team, everybody knows Barcelona. It's it's just as notable as like Man United or Chelsea or something like that. But Barcelona scores not just 1 goal,
No. 5.
but 3 goals in the last 2 minutes of play. In soccer, That is
very
absolutely.
hard to
if that
do.
happened every day, I would be a major soccer fan.
So Barcelona ends up winning 6-5 on goal aggregate. Everybody had written them off. Everybody thought Barcelona, myself included, was not going to make it to the next round, of course. And then, no team has ever scored 5 goals in a second leg of a Champions League playoff game, basically, to come up and dethrone a great team like Paris Saint-Germain on the road, too. No, I'm sorry, it was home. This was at the Camp Nou. This was at Barcelona. And they end up scoring 5 goals to win. They score 5 goals. PSG got a second goal.
Yep.
Or got a goal to make it, they got 5 goals that they then had to go. So then Barcelona had to score 6 total goals, end up scoring the game-winning goal at the last moment of regular time, in extra time, and just the place went insane. Absolutely insane.
Let's make soccer great again. We need more games like that. We need more games like that.
Viva Barca, or whatever they say.
What else is going on in the sports world? We got a couple things on here.
What else are you thinking about here? Got a couple of little last things. People are making fun of Tim Tebow after he struck out for his first 2 at-bats and then got hit by a pitch as well, too.
Oh, my God.
But people are also kind of making the argument saying, look, guys, laugh all you want, but there's a lot to celebrate about Tim Tebow's MLB adventure. And I was talking about this on the Morning Brew this morning as well with myself and Jamie, that I feel like Tim Tebow is an inspiration to a lot of people as a whole.
Yes, he is.
And he comes under so much criticism because he is a good guy. And nobody likes the good guy in sports. Everybody wants the villain. Everybody wants the guy that's going to shake things up. And Tim Tebow is shaking things up in a good way, and people are like, whoa, we don't like that. We're not about that life. And I think that's sad. I think Tim Tebow has so much to offer the world. And, I mean, he's not going to be a starter in Major League Baseball. I totally understand that. I'm not saying that he should be, because that's not how this works, of course. But give him a little bit more slack, guys. It was the first time he ever got to face major league caliber players, and the first time up to bat he faces a Cy Young winner. What did you think he was going to do?
It's unbelievable.
What did you honestly think Tim Tebow was going to do? Do you think he was going to drill a 4-run shot and then just be like, look at me, I'm Tim Tebow?
I don't even think Tim Tebow thinks that that's going to happen.
No, and he admitted after the game.
He's making money.
He admitted after the game, too. He was like, honestly, I lined up wrong when I went up to my first up to bat. He's I lined up wrong. And people are like, well, see, he doesn't know how to play the game. I'm like, guys, he hasn't played the sport in 10 years.
Give him a break. He's been playing football.
He went and became the best college football quarterback to ever play the game.
Can you blame him for doing this, though?
No.
He saw an opening. He's like, I could go do this and make money.
And that's the thing. And I think people need to realize as well, too, that guys, he's not taking a spot away from anybody. He's earned this spot. He's worked hard, like he always does. He's one of the hardest working people I've ever seen in my life, honestly. Regardless if he's really good or not at what he does, he's still probably one of the hardest, most genuine people that you're ever going to meet.
It's true.
So lay off on Big T.
Let him play.
Yeah, let the kids play. Come on, let them play.
Let's see here.
What else do you got? Anything else, or do you want to make your sandwich?
I don't really want to bring this up, but I will just because we still have a couple minutes.
Sure. You can talk whatever you want.
The world out there is talking about. I don't know if they're really talking about it too much anymore, but they're talking about the picture of Sierra and Russell Wilson and saying, "Is it nudity? Is it not nudity?"
We showed it yesterday on the show. We showed it on the Morning Brew yesterday as well.
It's one of those things where it's I can understand everybody has their own opinion, and there might it might be too much skin or whatever. But,
sure.
We live in a world right now where you can basically be and do whatever you want, as long as you can justify it. So when I saw the picture, I just automatically assumed. I said, I don't really know what's going on here.
There's a lot going on.
I don't necessarily like it, but I understand that people will look at it and say it is art. So
that's a word for it.
It's beautiful and whatever. So I'll give them that. So is it nudity? Probably not necessarily, but it's weird nonetheless. So
very much so.
Anyways, are you hungry? Are you hungry?
I mean, I feel like so. I mean, I'm probably not as hungry as A-Rod, who's dating J-Lo. Fun fact.
He's probably hungry.
He's hungry for stuff.
Anyways, I am going to make lunch for us today.
Okay. I'm excited. It's
hungry?
about that time, so I'd love to eat.
I hope you like pizza. Do you like pizza, Baxter?
I'm Italian. I have to like pizza.
Okay, that's good. See, I'm from New York. However, I don't necessarily like New York-style pizza.
Okay. Do what you got to do. Okay. Is it a deep dish, or what are we making here?
Well, let me tell you. So, for lunch today, Baxter, I'm going to make a pizza pie.
It's National Meatball Day.
It is. Now, I'm going to need somebody to help me bake the pizza because I know as a baker,
my name means baker.
I know baking is like chemistry.
Yes.
So if you screw up one ingredient, you screw up the whole pizza pie. So I'm going to get somebody who's trained. So for my pizza pie chef of the day, I'm not going to choose you. I'm sorry. Come back. I need you to close the show. I don't know how to end the feed when I'm done here.
So that's all I'm good for then, is just ending the feed. Okay. All right, I get that.
So my head chef is going to be Mario Andretti.
Mario.
You need a solid Italian man to help you make an authentic pizza. But like I said, I'm not one for New York thin crust pizza.
No.
I'll eat it because I love pizza. I love pizza, believe me.
Absolutely.
But I love the Chicago deep dish pizza. So the guy that I'm getting to be my Chicago style deep dish pizza is the one and only Mike Ditka.
Hey.
Mike Ditka. So Ditka's going to be my style of pizza. Now we got to find some things to put on the pizza. So what is on every pizza you will ever eat unless you're just absolutely insane?
Cheese.
A lot of cheese. So I am choosing the entire city of Green Bay to be my cheese for my cheesy pizza.
I love it.
And like you mentioned before, it's National Meatball Day. So who is going to be my meatball on my pizza is John Madden. John Madden is going to be my meatball for my cheesy meatball pizza. And he could probably add a little bit more cheese on there, too.
You put the meatball
if you don't put the meatball on the pizza, it's not going to be a pizza with meatballs. Anyways.
That was more like a Godfather.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Anyways,
moving
on.
Stick with Ditka.
Moving forward. Being from Buffalo, I love spicy foods. So any chance I get to put some fresh, cracked red pepper on my pizza, I will do it. Even on my spaghetti, I'll do it. So who's going to be my fresh, cracked red pepper? Who's bringing that to the table? The one and only Julius Peppers. I'm always good for a couple bad jokes. But so let's just review here. So we got a pizza pie made by Mario Andretti. And it's a Chicago-style deep dish pizza, which Mike Ditka is bringing to the table. The entire city of Green Bay is providing cheese, because of course they will. John Madden's providing the meat because he's a meatball. It's National Meatball Day. Julius Peppers bringing the fresh cracked red pepper. There's one more thing though. This doesn't seem like a 4-star
pineapple
pizza yet. No, I'm not putting pineapple on pizza, Baxter.
Ham.
No, stop it.
Pepperoni?
No.
Guinea pig.
This pizza needs something else. It's rated about like a 3-star pizza right now, so I need something to make it a 7-star pizza.
That's not possible.
A 5-time NFL championship style, 2 Super Bowl style pizza.
Not who I thought.
So a 7-star pizza, I need to just bring Bart Starr over to share this pizza with.
Mr.
So
Bart
7 stars for his 7 championships. One more thing though.
Oh my God.
I need a little bit more herbal flavor on there.
Herbal flavor, okay.
So I'll always put a little bit of garlic or and a little bit of oregano on my pizza. So Michael Phelps is coming to the party and he's bringing oregano.
Hey man, nobody knows herbs better than Michael Phelps.
It's an outdated joke, but gosh darn it, I used Josh Gordon last week. So
can't repeat, Tanner.
Can't repeat.
Get a new joke.
So yeah, Mario Andretti, Mike Ditka, the entire city of Green Bay, John Madden, Julius Peppers, Bart Starr, and Michael Phelps. That sounds like a pretty tasty pizza.
Yeah, I get on board with that.
Pretty tasty pizza.
I'd eat that.
I love it. I always have fun. But I brought pizza in here today. And
I'm excited to eat.
I don't know if I actually brought it with me. It's probably sitting out on the counter at home. I thought I brought pizza. I was sitting in the last segment. I was like, where is the pizza? All I got here is a box of Flutie Flakes. It's
the most
empty,
nutritious thing you're ever going to have.
And if it wasn't, it's like 30 years expired.
So I want the T-shirt on the back there.
I
Official
know.
order
Look
for
at that T-shirt offer. They have to still have these T-shirts. It's amazing.
I'm sure.
But
what do you do without them?
I want that.
It's
ironic.
Only $13.95 plus shipping and handling.
It's great. It's still dusty. Even that's how you know it's good. It's seasoned.
Yes.
Doug Flutie, the greatest CFL player of all time. He can come to my party. We'll use his Flutie Flakes as an appetizer.
There you go.
But that's what's for lunch, Baxter. That's
I'm all
what's
for it.
Lunch.
Like it.
I guess we'll start out. We'll end it with this way. Would you take the pizza or would you leave it?
I would take it. 100%.
You take it Chicago style. Even?
I love that. Yeah.
I'm not talking.
I'm probably only having like a piece.
Dish.
But
well, it's all you need. When it's a pizza pie, you get it's a whole meal in there. It's practically.
I'm
a sandwich,
taking it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Might pick off some of the Michael Phelps.
Some of the Michael Phelps.
I don't want to get too excited about my pizza.
Are you gonna leave the John Maddens on the pizza though for National Meatball Day?
Absolutely. I'm Italian. I live and breathe meatballs.
Awesome. Well, very nice. That's what's for lunch today for me. Anything else going on? Anything else? We're right at the tail end here.
Yeah, we got one more show today, Happy Hour. That's coming up at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 Eastern, live right here on Brew Sports. Myself and Tika Griesbach will be partying hard, having a happy hour, having a gay old time, as we like to say, and just checking out the sports world as well, and probably giving more updates, official updates about the official NFL free agent
Let's
day.
just cover up some of our comments here.
Please go right ahead.
Okay, so David Bobke says, I am drop kicking Baxter the next time I see him. That sounds like a threat.
It sounds like a quote from Anchorman.
He also says #no pineapple. So I'm with David on that.
I don't like pineapple. Let's stop here for a moment. I know Tanner doesn't like pineapple, so that's why I was egging him on.
I love pineapple, just not on my pizza.
Well, yeah, I love pineapple as well
warm
too.
Pineapple?
Nobody.
Exactly.
It's strange.
Greg says,
keep it together, David.
Guess it's Girl Scout cookies for lunch for you guys. I would love
I had Girl Scout cookies last night.
I would love. Do you have any Samoas left, or whatever they're called now?
No. I ate all my cookies last night.
Is this because I didn't bring over a bottle of wine?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to do that.
Unbelievable.
You keep saying, I'm going to bring wine, bring wine.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm going to keep adding a case every time you say I need to bring over wine.
Peter says, #team pineapple on pizza.
No, Peter.
Peter, no pineapple on pizza, man. No pineapple pizza. I will review it. Peter asked me what kind of beer I'm drinking. I'm drinking a Johnny Blood Red, Irish-style red ale from Titletown, and it's not bad. It's okay.
I get on board with that.
It's okay. I'm not really an Irish.
We got to get Peter on the show.
We do.
Peter's a good friend of both of ours. We got to get that New York guy on the show there.
Joe Litchin says pineapple goes on pizza. What is wrong with you people? My God!
Shut your mouths.
I'm gonna go hang out with Doug Flutie, and we're gonna have a pizza with meatballs on it and a little bit of oregano from Michael Phelps. So I need to go have lunch. I'm starving.
I am as well, too.
I'm starving.
Special thanks to Dom Garrett for joining us on the program today. If you missed any of today's show, you can get it on demand here on our Facebook page and by going to our website, brewsportsnet.com. Why are you chuckling?
I got another one of my friends. He would have loved the conversation earlier because he's a Patriots fan. He says no one circles the wagons like Dougie, so he appreciated the Doug Flutie Flutie flakes here. But
Dougie Doug.
Special thanks to all the people who came on and commented today: Devin, Trevor, Joseph, Peter, Greg, David, Simon, Adam. A lot of people today. So thank you for coming on. The best part about this show is that you can be a part of our discussion. So feel free. We'll be back here again tomorrow. I'm here at 11, as always, 11 to noon, 5 days a week. But, of course, we have other shows as well. Feel free to come on, share the video, be a part of the discussion. That's what's so great about this program. You can help us derail the train. And every day around this time, it usually happens. I still have a lot of beer left here. But, yes.
Save it for lunch.
I will.
Jeff